You go to a GYN appointment and have them dismiss you, and you walk out like, I'm sure that was just me. And then you start
Right.
asking other women, and you're like, oh, that was you too? Oh, that was you too?
It's just such a wild ride. And I want women to know that you're not alone. Like, you're not the only one sitting in your car crying. You're not.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Take a Pause with Mare and Melissa. And we are here to talk about the pause in all of her glory and not so glory, and talk about stories of women that, we find interesting and maybe make you laugh. So today we are lucky to have the creator and partners of menopalz.com, which is a website that now officially Take a Pause with Mare is also a partner with, and will be on the website in creating a community for women that are in menopause in all the stages, whether you know what stage you are or not. So we are here with Raquel and Debbie.
Well, hello, ladies. Thank you so much for having us. And we are so beyond grateful for this new partnership that we have. But Take a Pause, this elevates our whole experience. This is getting the word out for all of our ladies in menopause that can, have a story to share, that want to talk about their story. We want to hear it and we want to help. We're your bridge. We're your accountability partners. We're the people that you call when you need some resources, because we vetted a lot of these people and we don't put our name on anything that doesn't fit for menopause.
True. Yes, it's very true. And I'm just excited to be here with this amazing Raquel, who's a longtime friend of mine, by the way.
Yes.
So she just wrote me in and said, come on, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, I think I have some experience with pre-menopause, real menopause, post-menopause, and I still think I have it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
well, Debbie's got one emotional roller coaster ride of hormones that has started at a really young age. So I think you guys will all be fascinated to hear about that.
Oh, absolutely. Because, I think like one story, I think the worst thing that Melissa and I have found, like everybody thinks they're alone. Like it's just happening to me. Like you go to a GYN appointment and have them dismiss you, and you walk out like, oh, that I'm sure that was just me. And then you start asking other women and you're like, oh, that was you too? Oh, that was you too? And then you realize.
I think a lot of women never even mention it. Like they'd walk out and they feel alone. They feel isolated. They've gotten slammed with this news like, oh, you're in menopause. And then they're like, oh, crap, I'm out to pasture. I'm old. Yeah. And they have these feelings of darkness and they're not willing to share that because they don't want to tell other women, because then they feel like inferior or they feel like, somebody's going to judge them. We don't judge, ladies. We're all on the same boat. We're all just paddling along out here.
Beauty is that you tell your story like Debbie will, and then somebody listening will be like, oh my God, that could be me. Yeah, that could be me.
Yes.
That could be my sister. That could be whatever. So the more stories out there, I think, the better.
Absolutely. And that's, without your stories, there's no way that like the research can't develop, right? Like there's no way that the data is going to get collected. They're not going to look into things. When I say they, like scientists, so, we're not going to get the science back data that we need unless we start accumulating these stories. I mean, it's just so imperative, in my opinion.
That's a good opinion. It's very true.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we agree.
So, I was going to add that half the time when you do go to the doctor, when I was younger, because I'm one of the older ones here, the word menopause never came up. So honestly, I didn't even really hear about it till like the last maybe 5 years. So my whole life, I just thought I was going nuts. I didn't even know it was menopause. So
they should really screen that in the doctor's office. They screen you for depression or how you sleep or things like that. But once you hit a certain age, maybe they should just be like, so are you experiencing any of this kind of thing?
I agree.
Yeah. Which is so true. And Melissa, that like speaks to my story. So I turned 40 in 2015. So in 2015, I started noticing like all of these weird like weight gain and like just kind of, just that off feeling, like, a little bit of the like, I'm losing my freaking mind. But at that time, my kids are kind of aging out and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just kind of like sad that why I'd be sad. I'm not sure. like to lessen the responsibility I'm over here like weepy about, right? So, but I just kind of like factored in like that was why. And I never like really questioned it. So I started putting on this weight and like I now know it was inflammation, but at the time it was like, oh my God, I can't lose an ounce. I'm like trying all these things. I'm doing all these things. And I just kept getting larger and larger. And I think at the height of my weight, I was 220. I mean, and I'm just not by nature, like I've always been kind of a smaller person and I've always worked out. Well, I did get a little lazy. I'm not going to lie about that. But, but, you know, it was just such a weird thing. So by the time I turned 45 in 2020, like my body had pure havoc going on and I had no idea, you know, so I turned yellow. I had jaundice. I went to the hospital. They're like, you're an alcoholic. Yeah, acute liver failure. Go get a new liver. You're good to go. And they sent me home. So, you know, like there's not ever that conversation like, oh my gosh, you're 45. This could be something going on.
Right.
You know, and additionally, like my lack of estrogen exacerbated my autoimmune disease that I had no idea I had. So by my estrogen dropping, luckily for me, I just ended up with an autoimmune disease because I had a dear friend that passed away earlier this year. And I'm certain that it's because her estrogen had dropped and nobody talked about cardiovascular health. So she had a cardiac arrest and then she couldn't recover from. And so to me, this is personal, you know, like these people that are supposed to be our healthcare providers, which are doing the best they can, but at the same time, there are additional questions that they can be asking.
Right.
You know, and that's what I would love to have out there is like, here are some additional questions that might have helped, you know, like somebody could have said, hey, you have an autoimmune disease, but that's probably because you're 45 and your estrogen is dropped. And that's a really huge part of like who you are as a woman and your makeup, you know?
Yeah. And they never even, you know, and I don't even like, sure, they don't learn about it that we all know, like it's come out with like numerous doctors on TikToks and everything. They don't even have a course about menopause, right? They have like maybe one lecture in all of their stuff, which is infuriating at the time, but they don't know, right? However, I think they also think that they don't want to like, I don't know, embarrass you or something by asking. I would have loved at 45 and when I was 46, having my issues that somebody would have been like, it could be perimenopause. I would have been like, oh,
tell me more.
Let me read about this.
Instead of offering me an ablation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't even want to say the word. So you go around for years and then, you know, nobody knows.
Right. And in those years, you feel like you're becoming crazier. You feel like you're losing your mind. You feel like you want to rage quit everything, like walk out of your life, drive down the road till the car runs out of gas. Like there are moments where you just can't get yourself out from that space. And it's not you, ladies. It's your body. It's your makeup. You are going through a huge change and our whole brain rewires during this phase. I think that's a piece that nobody really thinks about, you know, like our entire like thought process is becoming completely different, you know, and it's a science-backed fact that our minds are being rewired.
You know, if you don't know, then the easiest thing to say is, oh, it's me. I'm going crazy. Something's not right. You know, because like you said, Debbie, I never heard of menopause growing up. You know, they said the change of life. Well, what the hell is that? The change of
life. They did say the change of life.
Yeah, that's what they always
They just said, oh, and actually nobody ever told me I was going through it. You just heard older women talking about it, but they didn't say what that was. They just said, oh, she's just going through change of life. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, what does it mean? Like, what does that mean?
Correct.
And when does it happen? I don't know.
Which is exactly why Menopalz was born. Yes. Because as I was going through this, I mean, I had like, you know, a really weird experience like Mare did, but I ended up at a gynecologist because once I got through my acute liver failure and my periods came back, I was like, it was like a murder scene. I mean, it was just like, I couldn't even leave my house. And so I went to the GYN and the gynecologist was like, let's give you an ablation. Again, my gynecologist is not even bringing up the fact that I'm 45. Right. Well, I think I was 46 at the time. And, you know, like, this could be related to perimenopause. None of those words came out. Instead, he went and got arrested for prostitution. But that's a whole other story.
That also is my favorite story, Raquel. That, I mean,
Minor detail.
minor detail. I mean, so many questions, like so many questions.
So many questions.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, but I just think like, so that when all of this started to like come up and it just was getting like more and more and more intense, I finally got out of the acute liver failure. I realized I had celiac disease, which was my autoimmune disease that estrogen brought on. And then I couldn't I couldn't calm down when I had, I was around 47, I would say. I had gone to a friend's house and I just could not calm myself down. My anxiety was so crazy. I ended up with these panic attacks that were just.
That's the other thing. The anxiety. Yeah.
So all last year, I was just like a hot mess because a friend of mine happened to say, could this be menopause? And I was like, what? No, I let some hot flashes and it goes away, your period leaves. And she's like, I don't know, it kind of impacts people different. Of course, at the time it might have been a year before that. I'm sorry. So we had no idea at the time, but as our research kind of continued, then it was like, oh my God, this is like a life-altering event that we are going into. Life-altering.
Yeah.
It took me a good year to get regulated on my hormones. I mean, that was my roller coaster ride. And I talk to women all the time that are in what I call the thick of it. And getting your hormones regulated is probably the hardest part. Like once they've fallen off or decide that they're going to fall off and you start to add back in hormones, your body's like, oh, pump the brakes. We're going to freak you out and run you over with a bus. And then we'll maybe let you come back to normalcy a little bit.
Well, it's true because you figure it's been a slow process of losing them. I don't think about it in that, but I think it took 10 years for me to get to the point where I was. So I'm like, okay, so they've been decreasing continually, right? And now I'm on HRT and now I want to fix all the wrongs from 10 years in 3 months, and I was like, okay, TikTok, I'm on HRT. Why do I still have palpitations? Why am I still anxious?
Everything should be great
still, and I was like, I expect this little tiny patch to fix the 10 years. And I'm telling you now, she ain't doing it, but she's getting there. She's trying her damnedest. She really is. Yes. But you know what I mean? So it's that type of, you're like, and I get it. You look at the hormone replacement, yes, this is it. But the battle is all those years that we lost the levels. And we're at ground zero.
Ground zero is where I think we both started at ground zero. We were so depleted. It was like, good luck with that.
You're sticking patches everywhere. You're like, how many patches can I put on?
Oh God, I had them everywhere. No, I mean, I literally I remember so clearly the first day that I even got HRT. I couldn't even remember. My brain fog was so bad that day that I could not remember what the nurse practitioner had said in the conversation and I had to have my friend who's in Spain read me the notes from the doctor and still was like, oh yeah, here, just take this patch and have a good day. There's still not any adequate information as to what to do next, right? No lifestyle changes, no nutrition changes, none of the exercise. It's just you're in menopause, have a good time. Here's some patches. So I remember bawling, just looking at this bag. I'm taking pictures of it. I'm like, it's wrong. It's all freaking wrong. And she's reading me the notes and my husband's putting this patch on. He thinks he's going to screw it up and hurt me. And I'm like, just put it on. It's just such a wild ride. And I want women to know that you're not alone. You're not the only one sitting in your car crying. You're not.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you could be crying, trying to go into work. You're yourself up. I was I've tried different music. I've tried Metallica, hard metal, that you can say you're and you're nope, still want to go. And I've tried classical. I've tried listening to the different Hertz green. I was listening to green music.
Driving down the road.
Calming down the You're still in the parking lot crying, thinking, I can't do this. So it's
I show up to meetings and my eyes are like puffy, like I've been run over by a bus. They think I'm hungover. My anxiety's so bad that I'm like antsy. Like my anxiety's telling me I'm in a rush to go somewhere and to get there, and like I'm on a race, and I don't know where the hell I'm going. But I'm like, I'm freaking cracking. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous.
It is. So there's other.
Yes.
We're here to tell. Yes, exactly, girls. We know you're out there, and you can't even say that you're not. And if you do,
We see you.
then we do see you. Yeah, we see you in Target raging with the push cart, going down the aisles. We see you. We see you.
I swear, I sniff it out. You're like, yeah, you're in menopause. Yep, I know. Like, and you almost can like nail it to the. Oh, you're in peri. You're probably just a few months off from this, and this happening.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is how you came across though, like creating menopause. So that way women have a pal.
Because from that experience, I thought, how many women out there are alone? How many women don't have the friend to pick up the phone and say, here's your doctor's notes? Or the women that, don't have the support to talk about nutrition or the exercise classes or the accountability partners, the accountability friends. I know a lot of women have friends, but are they friends? Like the kind you can pick up the phone and you can just lay it all out on the line, because there are friend groups out there that, women are just kind of catty and they're kind of mean to each other. And there's no reason for that. Like, I just don't operate in that space. So for me, like, everybody's welcome. Everybody has a story and everybody deserves to tell their story how that is, because that's their living truth. That's their truth. And who am I to judge that?
Yeah, absolutely. We all do need that friend to tell you, you got spinach right here. Like right here. Right here. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, you got it. Like you'll be like, no. I was like, but did you ever like go and you walk around and then you go and you look and you're like, how long did I have this? No, I'm the one that's like, hey, right there. Like that's everybody needs that friend too.
They need that friend. And that's the friend you could talk about like the down and dirty stuff with. And I don't know that every woman has that. And that's why menopause is so important, because it's a resource center. It's vetted information. It's people that care, people that have been there.
Yeah.
And we have a ton of amazing new people coming on board that was going to be mind blowing for all of you. So definitely stick around and stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Perfect. But why for Debbie?
Yes. So why Debbie came into menopause, and she was like, the two of you actually were like my two, like, oh my God, these people are so aligned with everything that I am doing. So Debbie and I have been friends for a long time, and we've done a lot of like promotional stuff and a lot of media things, even though I'm a realtor. So how I ended up in media, I don't know, but I did a lot of media stuff with Debbie. And so as this kind of started growing and becoming a thing, I brought Debbie in because I know her background, and her hormone roller coaster, if you will, has been wild. I mean, and it has started from an early age. I'll let her kind of speak to that, but like people that have been in the trenches and that have those stories are the ones that you want on your side, because they're the ones that can tell you, like I have a friend right now that's just in what I call the thick of it again. And I'm like, just get through the next few months, like give yourself grace. Let those days come and go where you're resentful that you're not doing anything, but you will get back out there. Yeah. Like you will get yourself back together. You just have to give your body time. She's like, well, I don't understand it because my periods are off. Now what about this? They're this and that. And I'm like, they were going to change regardless. Like if you started HRT or if you didn't start HRT, they were changing. So to complain about that or worry about that is just move. Just let that part go. Yeah. Give yourself the grace. Sit on the couch if you need to and get through it, because you will come back out. Yeah. You will. You just can't go down that dark of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I mean, watch a Real Housewives episode. That's what I do.
I clearly just research really like a lot.
Yeah. She researches. I'll just watch an episode of Real Housewives of either Salt Lake City, Potomac. I watch them all. Watch them all. They're great. Okay. Listen, they're really
seen some. But...
She's seen.
I haven't seen any of them.
I can't
It's
say I've
not
watched them,
too
but
late.
I'm not a real TV
Not
person.
too late, girls. It's not too
It's
late.
not too late.
I like to listen to music. Or last night I was doing Qigong. And John's like, "What in the hell are you doing in there?" I'm like, "I'm doing Qigong. Just leave me alone." I'm all
tapping.
just rubbing my ears.
It's very helps. It's very calming.
I felt really good this morning.
Well, Debbie, what can you tell us your journey? And I'll try to convince you to watch Real Housewives by the end.
Okay. Well, honestly, I didn't even realize the journey till yesterday. We were talking to a friend, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, like that. I think that was me. So my journey actually started as a young teenager. Actually, probably 14 years old. I was having lots of cramping and periods, and I went to my OB. Like, didn't even know. I don't even know it was an OB. I think it was just a doctor. But I ended up having a surgery probably at age 15 because I was having issues already down in that area down there, having lots of issues.
Debbie wants to talk about the vagina.
Let's say downstairs.
Down there.
I was having issues downstairs.
I'll say vagina all day long.
I will say issues
but
downstairs.
she'll say downstairs. So
anyway, so having your first surgery at 15. Yeah, being in the hospital at 15 and thinking, what is wrong with me? Like, what the hell is wrong with me? But nobody talked about it. So I get through the first surgery, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, like I literally had, my cramps were so bad that I was missing a lot of school, and I didn't want to do gym because I always had my period or they were too heavy. And my parents, they didn't know. They're like, hey, this is what you deal with. It's just part of life. And, and the doctor's like, that's what you deal with. So fast forward, I got married at a young age and wanted to have children. Well, that did not work either because I had infertility issues and I didn't know it because I had endometriosis. But nobody talked about endometriosis way back then. They just thought I was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like crap all the time and my stomach hurts and this hurts. And they literally just blew it off. Like, so then I'm thinking, okay. So we finally have a surgery for it. Like, so I went through probably 3 surgeries just to get the area cleaned up from the endometriosis. And my hormones were like crazy all over the place. And, at the same time, you're having the infertility issue. So your friends and your parents and your in-laws are thinking like, why can't you have a baby? What's wrong?
Oh boy.
And so you already have the hormones going because I got weird stuff going on.
Yep.
Then you're having the infertility issues because of the endometriosis. And people are looking at you like, what is wrong with you? Why can't you have a baby? Is it all my fault? And then you get more and more depressed, and then it makes it even harder. And then they start giving you Clomid, which is, I don't even know if they still have Clomid. It was a really strong fertility drug, and that totally messed my whole hormones up. I mean, I remember a day being at work, and I literally went to pick up the phone extension, and I just couldn't talk. My boss looked at me and said, like, what's wrong? Can't you talk? And I literally said, I quit.
And they thought you were having a heart attack, didn't they?
Well, that's another one. I literally said, I can't do this anymore. I can't pick up a phone. I can't say my name. I was so emotionally stressed with all these hormones that were happening.
Oh my God.
It was bad. And that lasted for quite a few years. So fast forward, I have the surgeries and we go through the infertility and my hormones are off and my progesterone, it was very low. So I would get pregnant and then I would lose the baby. So once we realized that I needed more progesterone and I needed this, I actually had a friend who was a midwife who she worked with the doctor. And when I was pregnant, I was bedridden for the whole time. So I've never had hormones that were ever happy with
Can you
me.
imagine 9 months of bedridden? I can't even sit in the bed for a day without crazy.
And literally I was getting lab tests and trying to figure out what was wrong with
But they were
hormones.
shipping her blood to Nebraska where her infertility doctor was.
And I was in Southern California in Burbank. So I literally flew to Nebraska, Omaha to get like 3 surgeries. And all because I wanted to get pregnant, and they understood the levels. Like, they were like, okay, you need this and you need this. But doctors that I had in Southern California they just said, oh, you just can't get pregnant. Mm-hmm. So long story short, I finally get pregnant, and then it forces you in to menopause. But nobody said that. They just said, oh, you're going to feel a little off. So they had given me Premarin. It was some hormone, but then they said, oh, you can't take it anymore because it'll give you breast cancer.
Some form of HRT.
It was some form, but it was like just one thing. And I was like, ugh. So I got off it.
About the endometriosis when you were having Joey, because that was a huge thing on how the doctor woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So so finally I do get pregnant. I'm good with that. So we adopt. Then, as they say, boom, I get pregnant. And Joey was 8 months. I was laying in bed 8 months. And then after that, I was still in so much pain. I'm like, something is not right. And they're like, oh, it's definitely endometriosis. And we think it's you need a full surgery, not just going in laparoscope. We're going to cut you open. And then I'm thinking I finally get pregnant. And now I'm like, I can't. Like, it's like now there's no chance of me getting pregnant because you're going to take everything out. So we scheduled the surgery, and the night before the surgery, or the Sunday, we were at Mass at church, and my surgeon was there and my anesthesiologist was there. They were members of my parish. So they called me up. We all did a little prayer, and I'm like, man, this is going to be like a big surgery. Like, they're like, this is going to be a big surgery. So we get in there in the morning, and the doctor said, or the nurse said, we changed our mind. We were going to go vaginally, but we're going to open you up. And he said, something told me that I have to open you up. And I said, I'm fine. I've had surgeries. I'm good. I just go right over the same scar. I'm happy with it. But it ended up where if he had went in vaginally, the endometriosis was all over my bladder. It was everywhere. He said we would have totally, it would have been
missed it.
Bad. Like you would not be here.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know it was there. It was everywhere.
Oh my God.
So then you try to get through all that. And I'm like, I have no hormones now. Like, what is happening? And still nobody says anything to me about hormone replacement. They don't say what's wrong with you. So from that point on, I literally was a basket case. Like, I couldn't say my name. I couldn't answer the phone. I was stuttering. I couldn't breathe. There was one point, I was working for the church, and they said, you don't ever have to answer a phone. We just want you to work for us. Never. You don't have to answer a phone. You just be Party Debbie and plan events. We'll do all your phone calls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's cool. I can do that. For me, it was great.
Yeah.
But all the lines were ringing, and I'm like, I have to pick that up because everybody's on a line, and there's a new parishioner who was a nurse who was standing by my desk. She's looking at me like, can she not
do you not hear that? Yeah.
And I was feeling like, okay, I got to do it. So I pick it up and I go, and I ended up, she thought I was having a heart attack.
The nurse is yelling, she's having a heart attack.
She's like, oh my God, call 911. And I'm on the floor like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, I'm okay. And they're like, it's okay. She does this all the time. So
don't worry about her. She'll get through it.
But it happened like over and over again. My stress level was just, and the stomach issues and like the whole checklist we were looking. I'm like, dang, I had all these things and nobody ever said what that was. Menopause, but nobody said it.
No, and then, they still are not talking about it.
No, and then you fast forward. So I get through that, and at age 50, I'm like, get a divorce, and I'm like, I got to figure out I'm still like, I had no things were not good. They were drier down there. Were not good down there. Just saying, but
this is the era. Saying downstairs was very dry.
But at some point,
see a tumbleweed going by.
There's no tumbleweed. But at some point, you have to find a doctor to say, "Hey, help me out here."
Yeah,
but you do. I mean, I'm laughing, but
it's true.
It's serious.
But there were many years I would go to the doctor and say, "I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, it's not working."
Numerous doctors
and
too.
And they're like, "We'll give you an antidepressant. We'll give you this," and I'm. And then, or they say, well, maybe we'll give you some testosterone. You're going to have hair all over you. I'm like, I don't want hair all over me. Like, they literally said, you're going to have hair growing in places you don't know. And I'm like, well, I don't.
Well, if I don't know them, I can't get rid of them.
So I didn't take, I'm like, I don't want to take that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to have hair all over my face. No. So I stopped. I said no. And so eventually they're like, okay. So then they took me off. There was no hormones. I had I had nothing. So yeah,
no ovaries, no uterus,
I had nothing,
no hormones.
And no hormones. A complete hysterectomy with no hormones.
Doesn't that sound wonderful, ladies?
How does that happen?
I mean,
We
after
should
all
really
she's been
have
through,
served wine during this one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we should have had wine, right, Melissa? We'll put it.
So now I'm 66 and I'm just now learning about all this. Like all those years through all the surgeries and endometriosis and this and now I'm 66 and finally thanks to Raquel and you guys, I all of a sudden on my Instagram feed things are popping up about menopause, dryness, this, that. I'm like, ooh, this is like, I'm kind of like embarrassed. What if somebody like sees me on my phone? I'm looking at tools, So, and then, but it's totally fine.
You're in a crowd and, because we can't see. So we have everything like blown up to like the moon so we can see it. Somebody's behind us.
So my last doctor I went to finally said, you need to, we need to get you some product.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't offer you estradiol cream. He just was like, you need some product.
No, actually, I do have the estradiol.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh,
He
you
did.
do?
He
Okay,
did prescribe that.
Okay.
He did. So, but he didn't like
Progress.
So anyway, I'm using some of that now. I really want to do the whole get tested, and I think it's time. But I went to have my lab work done, and the lab work came back, and I put it in Chat GPT because I couldn't understand it. And it came up and it said in the middle, it was like red. I'm like, well, why is it red? Like,
and Chat GPT is never red.
It's like, it's red. And I'm like, that doesn't look very good. So the doctor calls back and on the little report thing, it says, oh, for your age, you're right where you should be. And I'm like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He said, for your age, those numbers are normal for a 66-year-old woman.
Melissa,
Yeah.
Don't have words.
So that's why you have to learn on your own, number one, like we're doing. And
we have to be the CEO of our healthcare.
And
we
we're-
have to advocate for ourselves.
And you're going to see as you continue to follow us, we partnered with a team of doctors and nurses and specialists and women who actually care and who want to like help you find out what levels, where, how we can fix these levels with a little bit of help. So
yeah.
So that's why I'm here, just to let women know that I went through all that. Nobody ever told me what it was. And I'm so grateful now that I feel like I know I'm post-menopause, but man, I have brain fog. I get depression. I just want to stay in bed all day. I still have all the symptoms.
She's still suffering from the same perimenopause symptoms, and her doctor's saying, for your age, sweetie, that's okay.
But first of all, you look fantastic for 66.
Amazing.
Holy hell. I look as great as you do at 66. You are amazing. Just the journey itself going through that. It's like, anybody, like we are here and yes, we're laughing at the tumbleweeds. That was funny.
Right.
But the thing is that, you went through such like a horrible journey.
She said,
What did she say?
She's like, that's why you got to get it waxed.
But but the thing is that you still are so brave in the fact that you're still here and you can laugh about it, because other people may just have given up and just been in a different type of living. So you learn from it and you thrive. You are definitely thriving by what you're learning.
But I also feel like at that young age, when I was growing up, nobody talked about anything. They didn't talk about sex. They didn't talk about this. They didn't talk about nothing was talked about. And I remember my mom would be, every month, she would get these horrible migraines and she would be like crazy woman. And she'd put herself in her room, turn the lights off. And we were like, don't even go in there. So I feel like all this time I thought she was a crazy woman every month. And my dad never said, or maybe he didn't know. He's like, just be quiet.
He probably didn't know.
He didn't know.
Because it's such a like taboo topic that people just don't run out and start talking. I'm at Trader Joe's. I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm in menopause.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been telling everybody, like, pay me, like, tap to me. So menopause made me do it.
Yeah. But Melissa, you had migraines.
Yeah, I had migraines previously, and then now I don't. So I'm thinking they're all hormonal kind of issues.
Are you on HRT?
No.
Oh, you're not?
Nothing.
Okay. Oh,
Maybe I should be though.
Maybe. Well, you know the thing, I think the word, because that's the word, it annoys me too, because it's postmenopausal. So you say post, that means after. When I was postpartum, that meant I had the baby. It was over.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't stay in postpartum until I was like 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That postpartum
It's done.
done. So they use
Also,
the word.
in postpartum, they say that she might be feeling a little moody. She might be a little off. She might be agitated.
Yeah.
Like there's symptoms and there's things that they talk about with postpartum. But postmenopause or perimenopause, like,
but people think, and I think the same thing, like postmenopause. That means it's done, right? But it's not.
It's never.
And that's the thing. So they give the menopause, they say it's the one day. One day that
by definition,
it's the day, the year that the one day after the year that you don't have a period anymore. That's considered menopause. And then you are quickly moved into postmenopause. And I was like,
what day is menopause?
I think we should just always say menopause, not postmenopause, because we are always in it. We stay in this phase until we're done.
Which leads me to like taking people off of hormones. Like, why are they doing that? Like, you're gonna get the same results, right? You just rip them off of hormones because they've aged out of them. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Debbie's doctor's like, for her age, you're great for a woman your age. What does that mean?
But here's an SSRI. Oh, let me max you out on this. Oh, you are already maxed?
No, I already am maxed.
Yeah, so they've
she's like, I can't give you any more.
Yeah, they've maxed her out on the SSRI, but then they're telling her she looks great in the same breath for her age. Like, what the heck is that? I suggested to talk to another doctor. Yeah, that was my advice.
Yeah.
Well, she's working on that.
So no, we have a plan. We have some partners that are going to be joining us, and we're going to be doing some testing. So I will know what my real levels are, and I will get proper hormones, and I will become a normal woman again.
Well,
hopefully.
I think
whatever that is.
Yeah, let's define normal.
No, I really am blessed. I mean, I'm so much better now, but it's also your environment affects you too, and your diet. So I'm learning that, I need to have grace with myself. Like Raquel's like, it's okay. You don't have to, if you need to go back to bed and stay in bed all day, do it.
Yeah.
But I always felt guilty. Like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work. I've got to go with the cramps. I have to go with the grumpiness. I have to go. And I would do it because I didn't want to, you didn't want to miss work.
Right. And I think one of the things that Debbie was talking about yesterday too, is like, because it wasn't talked about, it was like, that was just expected of you as a woman. Like you're expected to do your womanly duties, and that means showing up. That means working through the hard stuff. And you've got the cramps. You're like, I think we've all been in that position where we've had a period so bad. We're like, oh my God, I got to get to the bathroom because I'm pretty sure I look like Carrie, off of Stephen King book, just standing here right now,
Or so you're killed in bed,
Carrie,
Yeah.
We all, now I see that.
Yeah.
But you're right, because it wasn't enough. What are you going to do? You're going to call in and say, I have cramps.
Right.
They're going to, you would be like mocked, like, oh, she just has cramps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's such a joke. I have cramps all the time.
You see though, when they put that monitor on men,
I love
the cramp monitor, that make
Oh,
them
I
feel
didn't know
like
there
the
was
cramps.
such a
They
thing.
can never
Yes.
get to like the endometrial level, like is like 10. They're at like 4 and they're like falling out of their
Yeah.
chair and they're like, I can't. And they're like,
Now go to work like that.
go to work.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too. Right.
And but the level that it would be for they're like, oh no, and they'll like rip the belt off because they can't. You know what I mean? So it's like having society see that and having men like realize that is a start, but it's still just an expectation of us
Correct.
to just keep
Correct.
going for.
And we're just predispositioned for that. Like I know for me, like I'll have a headache or like the whole day has just been crap and I'll just still keep pushing through. It's like, oh, there's somebody's relying on me. Somebody needs something from me. And I think that just is like a woman's world. And I own that. I do. I completely own that. But at the same time, I'm learning to stop and give myself that grace. And I'm learning to stop and put myself a little bit before somebody else. And it doesn't come easy and it doesn't come overnight. Like it definitely was like, okay, I'm going to do this like this and see what happens. Like, what's the reaction? Is everybody going to flip out? I mean, it definitely was like a learning process and I'm still learning it. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, we had an episode that we did on the podcast about self-care and like how you do it. Like people are like, oh, I like to, take a bubble bath, or I just like to like read a book, or, and it's like to do that, you still have to, I'll only do that after I've like finished the wash and did everything.
Yeah.
Like, did
there's
little
time
deep cleaning. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, good.
No,
Now I can go and relax. But I think menopause sort of teaches you, you got to do it when you need to do it, not when you are done everything, because you're so exhausted at that point. You're not good to anybody.
I know for me, like I would try to like rush through my tasks.
Yes.
Which like hyper stimulated me. And then kids would come in and they're talking. And I'm like, oh, and it feels like little prickles. Like you're like, oh, they're talking to me again. Your skin's all like, you're like a cat in a corner, like, and I'm like rushing through all this. And then they're hyper stimulating me so I can have that 2 minutes of like peace and quiet to myself. And now I'm like, whoosh, you guys leave me alone. I need a moment.
Yeah.
Like learning how to like clear the table and say, I got a plan to make myself better is what I'm learning to do. And I think, and that's huge. That's a big part of what we offer at Menopalz is like helping you with those tools and helping you with these conversations. And just that, so your family understands, so your kids understand, because we know how it goes. We know they take things wrong. We know that they're not hearing the reason, like they're just hearing that you're being a bitch or you're being like cranky or they've had too much, you've been on one or whatever, they don't hear the opposite side of that. Like on the inside, we're like screaming, like help.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a huge part of what Menopalz does. Like we have cooking classes, we have ask the doctor, ask the provider. It's not medical advice, but it's questions so you can go in and ask your doctor and you can feel more equipped. We have exercise classes Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which you'll love.
Which is 10 a.m. It's 10
a.m. So for you, it's good. Yeah. But for us, like you roll, like literally we do these so you can roll out of bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're in your PJs. There's no judgment. You're half this morning I was like, I got like 3 minutes before I was half asleep.
I'm like,
I did it.
Like,
But I did it. I mean, there's many times I will just roll over and go back to bed. Like I just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'm still not, I haven't made it 5 days straight, maybe once.
You made it a couple times.
But there's just times where I'm just like, I seem to need a lot more sleep than I used to need.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just an age thing, but
I think it's definitely probably like cardiovascular health. I mean, I don't know. I would talk to your doctor about that because, cardiovascular health is one of the number one, like overlooked symptoms of menopause. And, without good cardiovascular health, then you're lacking oxygen in your blood and things like that. So, I mean, those are things that you need to talk to your doctor about for sure.
Yeah, but you can say all those things to your doctor. And as a woman, you're just complaining.
Right.
Like literally, I'll say the same thing. Well, I'm still tired. I still have this. I'm still this. And he's like,
Obviously,
No, that's all right. Have a good day.
you need to
No,
work
I know.
out
I
more.
mean,
That's what they'll tell
Because
you. You need to work out more. Yeah.
I need to work out.
No, that's what
That's
the
what they
doctor
tell you.
Oh, you're telling me to work out.
No, I'm not. That's what they'll say. Yeah, that's what they'll say. You go in there.
I don't want to work out anymore.
Did you
Yeah.
see your face? I need to look out.
They're like, but you do. You go in, you're like, I'm tired. I don't have energy. You need to work out more. And I'm like, did you
Actually, no.
you not hear me say I'm tired? I have no
Yeah.
energy. I don't know how. I can't even think about getting ready to go to work. But I'm going to go do a 5K before then.
More
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
reasonable.
I mean, even if you get up and you can move yourself for two, like I started because I came out of such a dark place, like just such a dark depression from all of this. I would just, even if I got 5 minutes,
Yeah.
if I just could move myself for 5 minutes,
Yep.
and I was like, okay, at least I did something.
Yep.
And then it's a psychological like journey, I see so many, and I talk to so many women that are just like, well, I started HRT and nothing's better. And I'm like, well, did you, what have you changed in your lifestyle? Like, what are you eating? How's your diet? What's your stress level? What are the things that you've changed there? And like, nothing else has changed in their lives, but they've started HRT and God dang it, it better be different. But, and you're just like, no, you're in the race. You're not sprinting here. This is not a sprint. This is definitely the long haul.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not going to go away, ladies. Like, as we're talking earlier, like just because I say it's post-menopause, like this is the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You will feel this way. And unless you make these lifestyle changes and make it a holistic lifestyle change, I mean, it doesn't mean you have to go like hippy dippy or anything like that. If you don't make a lifestyle change overall, then you probably aren't going to have as good of a go as most.
Well, they said, we found the statistic, 2/3, we are in a type of menopause for 2/3 of our life.
Well,
puberty wasn't enough.
No.
Perfect.
So I would think that you're in it till like, I think you start when you're like 14, 15 years old, because you're starting to get your periods, and then all of a sudden, then you're every month, like people think you're crazy,
Yeah.
And like, what's wrong with you? And then we're like, I'm 66 and I know the levels that I have are why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And
Right.
We'll just start crying, or I'll just do this. And it's just so emotional, where you just feel like something like, what's wrong with me? Like, geez.
And it wears you down. It's like having a chronic illness that you can't treat. Like, you feel so worn down just thinking about what's wrong with you, feeling like there's something wrong with you. Then you really have those crazy thoughts, and the rage comes in, and then, like all of it just like really starts to make you like exhausted, and you're just like, I give up, I quit. And then that's how you end up laying in the bed for 2 weeks with the blankets over your head and your hair's matted to you.
I've done it.
Yeah, I have too. And it's ugly, and no, it's a dark place, and I don't want any other woman to have to feel like that.
And see, that's the thing. Like, we all have friends that are younger, or like I have a daughter and a daughter-in-law. We all have younger versions of ourselves out there. And it's like they're, and my daughter and daughter-in-law, they do listen. And I was like, listen, because I do want the downloads, don't get me wrong, on the Take a Pause, but I was like, but you learn. And they were like, oh no, like we're learning, like we're preparing, like take notes.
I love that. I love that. That's the conversation I had with my daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, my daughter's a little on the young side, so she still knows more than me. So I'm waiting for her to catch up to the party. But when she gets there, she'll know.
Yeah.
And, it's true. Like, this was a big part of it too, because I looked at her and I thought, if I'm suffering this hard, what is she going to go through? And it became like, this has just become a mission for me. This is no longer like, I just felt like crap and I needed an outlet. This is a mission.
I agree.
This is personal.
I agree. And that's how it is. Like, this is how, we started the same thing. Like with Menopalz, we did the Take a Pause. We're like, well, how can we get more people to listen than just like at work? Because yes, like you said, like you're talking to people like at the store, in the hallway, I'm like, they're looking at me, they're like, oh, she's going to talk to us about menopause. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We're like, I'm
actually, that that actually happened to me today at a fundraiser. So
I haven't heard this story. I'm excited.
No, so it actually happened today because they say, "Hey, Deb, what's new? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, you know what? I'm working on menopause." They're like, "Oh my gosh!" She goes, "Well, I'm having a hot flash right now, and I totally forgot." And I looked, and so the man behind her, he goes, "Well, I think I'm having it." And I said, "Well, you're having menopause." And he said. And
that's a good one. That's a good one.
No, I mean, he was like, he goes, I think I have brain fog. And I'm like, well, maybe you have, it's called menopause. And he laughed, but then he said, you know, and he said, it's only fair that I should go through it if all my women friends have to go through it. Huh. But it was really cool.
What's his name? We might need to talk to him.
Yeah. No, but he was being really sincere because, you know, the lady who walked up was literally like, having a hot flash. And I said, "Oh, I understand that." And she said, you know,
don't we understand that?
But lately I've been taught, now that we're all talking about it and popping up on our phones, I feel like now people will want to come up and talk about it because they know it's okay to say, you know, is it me or am I going through it? There's another gal who's like 32 and she had said that she was going to take some time off and I said, "Well, are you okay?" She goes, "Well, I'm going to have a surgery." And I said, "Like, do you mind like sharing?" And she said, "I have to have a complete hysterectomy." And I'm just like she was so, I go, "I've been there." Yep. And she goes, "I have nobody to talk to." And so
now you do.
And now she does.
Yep.
But she literally didn't even want to tell me that she was having a complete hysterectomy at 30 something years old. I was probably like 30 something years old, 35 or something.
Isn't that crazy?
But she didn't want to tell me. Yeah. Because it was like, and I didn't want people to know when I had it. I was like, geez, I'm too young to have this.
Right.
But at that time, it was for my life. I had no choice.
Right.
It was spreading all over and it was very bad. So it was either you want to live or you want to try to have a baby. And I want to live.
Yeah.
I adopted, had a son and finally got pregnant. So I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm good. Mm-hmm. But even the endometriosis, nobody talked about that either.
No.
And now they're talking about it now. Right. But back then I just felt like, what is wrong?
But again, most of the research that's out there is all in reproductive health. Like and I think a big part of that is because of the Black Label study.
Yeah.
That came out into 2002. Is that right, Mare?
2002. So in
2002, when that Black Label study came out, like that ruined a whole generation of women. Like I look back, like my mom in particular, like she's 68. I'm 66 or 68. I can't remember.
I can be your mom.
She, like her bladder has fallen out. She has had a hysterectomy. She has had 2 stents put in her heart. She now suffers from like cardiovascular dementia. This poor woman has gone through it and she has had to carry on. Like life was not going on inside her. You know what I mean? And I look at all of that and I think all of her problems started happening when she went into menopause. And that was never a conversation that was ever had. Ever. And she had my brother late. Like my brother and I are 12 years apart. So I think she was one of the people that got pregnant late. I want to say she was around 40. So that probably kept her from more symptoms sooner. But I mean, I don't want to experience that. I mean, the poor woman has internal tremors, like central nervous tremors now. Like it's just horrible to watch, you know? And I don't want women to end up like that just because they think that it's going to cause breast cancer based off of a bunk study.
A study that was flawed from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. And there you can talk to that study. You know that study inside and out.
Yeah, exactly. But the good thing though, too, here is that woman had the courage to say, and now she found a friend and a supporter with you, Deb, and the fact that she's not alone, like just that one conversation. So, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully she will be on the show at some point because I really feel like since she's young and right now she's probably going through this, I should check on her and say, you know, how are you feeling? Are there, are you taking anything or the doctor? I need to do that. Yeah. I'm not being a good friend if I don't follow up on that. See, we have to be good friends. So no, anyway, it's all this is all really good education, and I just wish I learned it sooner. So I'm very grateful to be a part of the team. So we can, share people's stories and help women be able to be themselves again, whatever that version is.
Yeah.
And definitely the bull by the horns, and she's gotten her coaching certification for menopause. So she's definitely another person that you can have coaching sessions with. Like Mare is also a coach with menopause. And so, I mean, I think that it's important that you guys, meet our personalities and know who you're going to be talking with or what we'll be talking to you about, because I think that's a huge part of like maybe the fear or the taboo. Like, we're not going to talk to people about your stories. That's up to you. If you want to share your story, you share your story.
But I mean, look at how fun we are. I mean, we're fun.
Yes,
we are kind of
look
fun.
at our mugs.
We do have mugs, and we all have our mugs. We all have our. Here it is.
There you go. And you too can have a mug soon.
Yes,
You too. Merchandise coming. Me and my cricket.
Ah, that's right.
Just know that, if you have me as a coach, I will say the JJ. And if you have Deb as a coach, she'll say downstairs. But the point
and if you hear believe in that, you're gonna know. You're gonna know.
Yeah. Downstairs with the t-shirt. I'll cricket something.
I'm getting better. Yes.
It is so.
I am
it's
getting
not
better.
a topic for everybody. We understand.
I love it. But
that's why I'm surprised. That's why I'm surprised I'm even sitting here, because I knew you guys would say that word.
No. But here's the thing, though. You already did coaching with that woman without even realizing it. You were being a coach and a friend and just a supporter, all wrapped into one, just to that girl.
Right.
So
right. And you gave her tools.
Yeah.
You gave her some tools.
So it comes natural to you, Deb. Cheers.
Yeah.
See?
One more cheers.
Menopause,
cheers.
you know it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because menopause because SIP happens.
Yes.
I gave her the SIP happen because I don't like to say the SH word.
She's like, you say shit more than I do. I was like, I sure do.
Yes.
I'm getting to the point in my life where I say shit. Oh shit.
Well,
oh shit.
And it's see, you two, Melissa and I, we're also the great couple, and I will curse for her.
Oh yes.
It's fun.
Yes. I'm so happy I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Melissa. Here I am like
Oh yeah.
No, I'm very happy to
I
know
don't
that
even know I'm saying it, and I'll flow. It does flow. It's a flowing.
And sometimes I'll say it in like the worst places. I'm like, oh my God, did that just come out of my mouth? Like I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I just said that.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I sit there and I like, oh my God, did they hear me say it? I don't know if I, oh my God.
And
that's all I can think about the rest of the conversation.
And I'll say that to Melissa, and she'll be like, oh dear. And I was like, oh dear. It's like, I did say that. So sorry.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dear.
And I always feel so bad. I'll just drop an F-bomb and she's like, oh friggin'. I'm like, oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell.
Times when we do let loose, just so you know.
That's okay.
I do have a dual personality. I can be my nice church Debbie because I work for a church, or I can be my little crazy sexy Debbie. Just depends on where my hormones are.
That's
more than it. I love it. We all can. It's like, hey, just stick around for the ride. It's going to be a great.
Stick around.
Join us at menopalz.com. Yeah. Check out Take a Pause. Like, you are not going to be missing out on anything. And you definitely, I mean, we may not be able to sit in that bed with you and then take those covers off your head, but we'll make you feel better somehow.
Yeah.
We'll make you laugh.
We'll make you
laugh your head. But we'll definitely give you tips and tricks that will help you pull yourself out.
Absolutely. And I can't thank you guys enough. This was a blast. I had fun.
Okay, so I have a quote because that's kind of my thing.
Okay. That is her thing.
I have a quote. Okay, this chapter isn't about endings. It's about finding your truth, your community, and your joy, and a little fun down there.
Down there.
Welcome to
Menopalz. I love that quote. I'm going to click at that also if I can, because that is a great, but it is so true. It's like, it's not about endings. You know what I mean? We are vibrant women everywhere, even down there. And it's just so great.
Too many times she's done that to me, and I don't expect her to say it. And I'm like, and then I'm on the ground laughing like I'm having a heart attack myself.
The best.
Yeah, we've done that at interviews.
I'm like, Fred Sanford, please say I'm coming home.
Yeah. But when I don't even know I'm saying it when I do say it. So.
See, I just love
okay with that. I think
yes.
They may never want us back.
It's a great ending, and yes, and thank you again. And I encourage everybody to join and look up Menopalz, and it's just great. Look up the website, look everything, and you can continue to listen to us. This video will be on Spotify, Apple Music, and the video will be on YouTube. And like Melissa and I like to say, you can always see us next Tuesday.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, Menopalz made me do it.
That's actually true.
It is.